listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin. I'm Bree.
And I'm Rachel.
Today we have an adventure in Lutheranism-ish. Because we just make up episode segments because we can. So it's a time of year when things start ramping back up at church and people are going back to school.
Kids. As opposed to dog kids.
It is back to school time. It is back to Sunday school time. So Bree, where are we adventuring-ish today?
Okay, well, we are adventuring-ish. Where did this go? Hold on, I'm sorry. Technical difficulties.
Lost your notes.
So anyway, back to this. So it is September, which means most children have returned to school, academia in general. And therefore, that is the time of year where churches tend to put significant effort in calling people back to church by way of introducing children to their new Sunday school classes and their new teachers. And it's all sort of observed in this concept that goes by the term Rally Day. I didn't realize that this was not necessarily a Lutheran thing. And so in my investigatory research, I found that not a lot of Lutherans in my life observe Rally Day, but it is pretty popular in other Protestant circles. So
interesting.
Hence the Lutheranism-ish today, because while not many Lutherans observe Rally Day, at least the ones that I talked to and those who participated in the Instagram polls that I had up this weekend about Rally Day, there are still a significant number, almost half. So that's got to account for something. Almost half of respondents participate in some kind of Rally Day, whether they call it Rally Day or not.
Well, and before you get started, may I say that even if your church has not done a formal Rally Day style kickoff to Sunday school in the past, as so many churches are struggling still to get things started up for children and young people after COVID, this would be listen up and consider this as a way to just be a little bit more intentional about launching your Sunday school program every year. Do something exciting and celebratory and fun and meaningful, and also get everyone's contact information while they're there.
Be sure to do that part.
So that the people who have slipped through the cracks, they have a day that they can be like, okay, it's on the calendar. This is the day when we show back up because there's a reason.
Right.
So I'm really glad you're doing this episode, Bree, because even though a lot of Lutheran churches do it, a lot of them don't, but it's a cool tradition, and one that, while certainly not required, can be a component of a successful Sunday school program.
Right. Well, and as I was reading about the origins of it, one of the things in my experience in the Lutheran Church right now is we're still dealing with post-COVID church attendance. You know, people are not back in the numbers, pre-COVID. And I know that that's been a concern for a lot of congregations and a lot of pastors. And so as I'm reading the origins of Rally Day, it's like, okay, yes, we're calling families back from being transient all summer, which that's just the case of it being summer. But maybe this is also an intentional call back to those individuals who maybe haven't been to church in a couple of years and they're still sort of reluctant to come back, or they haven't been asked to come back. I think that having a Rally Day, not only for Sunday school, but for the church as a whole, could be a really fantastic way to get some of those hesitant folks back in the pews. Is that me?
That was me.
Oh, whoops. That's all right. That just means it was a really wise thing that just came out of my mouth. We'll just pretend. So in my research, Rally Day is sort of a result of, I think, a couple of things. In my own personal experience, our church, our membership congregation, holds summer Sunday school. It tends to be a little lighter, a little more casual. Sometimes it's tied to, VBS. And again, I think that goes back to families are vacationing and attendance is light because travel is happening. And so Rally Day really is okay, we're back. We're resuming normal operations, even though, I, for one, very much love summer Sunday school.
Yeah.
As a summer Sunday school teacher, oftentimes I kind of feel like the B team, and I'm okay with that. But I love a summer Sunday school. It's literally my favorite thing. And I also will say this, here's my admonition to congregations and church people who are listening. If you can, and it makes sense, have Sunday school and Bible class all summer long, please. Even if it lacks decorum or a lesson plan, if there are people around to hear the word of God in a different way, in a different format, do it.
Yeah.
You may not know who's in your pew this Sunday, who's maybe on vacation, and they make it a point to go to church on their vacation. So by providing that, I definitely think that is basically my admonishment to people.
Well, and I'll add a corollary to that admonishment. If you have an adult Bible class that runs all summer, please have something for the children. It always broke my heart that I pretty much had to skip adult Bible class as soon as Sunday school was over for the year because I have kids. And what am I going to do with my kids while my husband teaches the Bible class?
Right.
So I often provided childcare, impromptu, not a formal summer Sunday school thing. So yes, don't assume that all the people attending adult Bible class don't have children.
Yes, ma'am.
There was a time a few years ago, several years ago now, that my church, we had very few kids, and summer Sunday school was always a challenge. Same with Bible class. And so they did experiment for, I think, 1 or 2 summers with not doing Sunday school during the summer. But mainly, the issue is not as much guests and visitors, which you're right, that is definitely something to think about. But it was more that all of the regular people then get out of the habit. Right. So we decided, even though there would not be consistent attendance because people would be coming and going with vacations, better to have it as a consistent thing that you do when you're in town, you go to Sunday school and church, than to try and stop and start and regain momentum and all of that in the fall.
Better to have a little momentum than none at all.
Yeah. Nature abhors a vacuum. And if you put a vacuum on Sunday morning in the summertime, you'll have a lot more work to do to get rid of it in the fall. Yeah. However, Rally Day, to get back to the point, Rally Day can help with that if you've lost that critical momentum somehow.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess we have a Rally Day at our membership congregation. Timothy does have summer Sunday school and summer Bible study, but there is sort of a dedicated day. It's usually right before the school year or maybe very close behind the start of the school year. And it's basically an opportunity for students to move up in their Sunday school grade, meet their new teachers. There's usually a fun activity and some little snacks and games and stuff. And so I think it helps get the students pumped up for the Sunday school year. I'm interested in hearing about how your churches sort of ring in the quote unquote regular Sunday school year. Do you have some sort of observation? Do you have we're into school time now, this is how it goes? Or is there any sort of pomp and circumstance?
So we run Sunday school all summer and we run Bible class all summer. Adult Bible class doesn't change format at all. We just kind of keep going. We have largely attended Bible class, though, because our church is a bit of an anomaly and not a lot of people. We have a lot of visitors that come in, and even though a lot of people leave, so we're full all summer. But Sunday school, I think the attendance does go down just because families are traveling. Yep. But we run Sunday school all summer. And then we do have a rally day. I believe it's the first Sunday after Labor Day. that we run that. And that is when the kids move up to the next grade level. So that's when all of that shift happens. I think there's some pomp and circumstance. I honestly can't remember since COVID if there's anything fun that happens, because I think last year would have been the first one post-COVID, and 2 years before that, stuff was weird. So I don't remember. But the one really, really cool thing, we have a fantastic Sunday school superintendent. She just like knocks it out of the park. And also our church is very into making sure our kids have hymnals. So during the summer, at least this summer, and I'm pretty sure this is not the first year they've done this. I think they've done it before. Grades 3 through 5 are learning how to use their Lutheran service book during the summer. That's part of their summer Sunday school curriculum. So that means that at the end of the summer on Rally Day, the kids who complete those lessons during the summer get a hymnal engraved with their name. Which is like, that's enough pomp and circumstance for me. Honestly, but that is very, very cool. So our Sunday school superintendent is very big on making sure that the kids know how to use the hymnal, and giving out hymnals is a big thing for them. So that's a very, very special thing for us that happens on Rally Day. So yay. That's my story.
You, Aaron?
So I don't think my church does a formal Rally Day. I'm not a Sunday school teacher. I'm a dedicated Bible class goer, adult Bible class. We don't have an adult rally sort of activity. However, sort of on at least the general neighborhood of Rally Day, we are this year doing, it's going to be next Sunday, actually, Sunday after next, we're doing, all of the kids that are in school this year are going to come up during the service to get a special blessing at the start of the school year, and they're going to get a blessings of their backpacks. They're going to bring their backpacks as well and get backpacks
they do
blessed.
that at Emmanuel. That's right.
We have never done that before. Apparently, pastors talk, and I guess or they read a blog post, or who knows how they came up with the idea.
Very cool.
But yeah, they announced it at church on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, I like that. That'll be fun." So, somewhat related.
Very cool. How about you, Rachel, and your experiences? Rally Day, no Rally Day?
My current church, I've not been there long enough to know what they do to kick off Sunday school in the fall. I'm really excited to find out. So tune in later. But where I first discovered Rally Day as a thing was one of our former congregations, where it was tradition that there was a giant spaghetti dinner on Rally Day.
What?
I'm about that life.
Nice.
That's an amazing tradition.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, save for food, and then, go on to I can't remember if the Sunday school went first and then the food, but whatever. There was spaghetti involved. And as you know, spaghetti is a great way to feed a crowd without a whole lot of elbow grease, although the sauce was homemade and it was delicious. But that's I just associate Rally Day with spaghetti for some reason.
I'm okay with that. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I guess even amongst the four of us, everything has Rally Day is sort of observed in a whole bunch of different ways. And as I alluded to earlier in this episode, this is an activity. It's an observance that sort of transcends denomination. I had a few sources to sort of inform this episode, one of which was the Instagram polls that I had posted, basically asking individuals if their church observed Rally Day, and if so, what did that observation look like? The other resource that I found, and on this episode of Brianne Grzewski Cannot Read, I did a Google search on the history of Rally Day. And there was a blog post, and I'm like, wow, the Library of Congress has a blog post about Rally Day, and it links to these books. And this turns out, it was Congregational Library and Archives. Library of Congress. Why would the Library of Congress have a dedicated blog post to Rally Day? Why? Why did I even think that that's what that was? Why did I even think about that? What that was?
It'd be pretty cool, though.
It would be pretty cool,
right? I was like, yes,
That's
one for the culture, and it was like, nope, you can't. You can't read. So, nevertheless, I mean, it was not necessarily the endorsement of our United States government. However, it still was a worthy resource, nevertheless, even though it's not necessarily Lutheran. It pointed me, anyway, to some additional insights about Rally Day. So, between these resources, there are some things that I've picked up about Rally Day. First of which being, as I've already said, it is not a distinctly Lutheran tradition. And you can simply see that by doing a Google search for Rally Day. You'll see hits at the top for Lutheran churches, although they could be of various synodical stripes, but you also see promotions and events even more prominently from Presbyterian churches and Methodist churches and United Church of Christ churches. It does generally seem to be a Protestant practice, and I don't know. I don't really know
Sunday school in general is more of a Protestant practice.
That's fair.
Roman Catholics do religious education, but they do it in a different way.
Sure.
Sunday school is pretty much Protestant.
Okay. No, that makes total sense. I've also observed that it is an older practice in the American church. Comparatively, I think. So this blog post that I found, not on the Library of Congress website, it led me to a resource, and the Congregational Library and Archives is affiliated with the United Church of Christ, not Lutheran, but a Christian resource nevertheless as to Rally Day's origins. The book is called How to Conduct a Sunday School. It was written by Marion Lawrence in 1905. So Rally Day has been something that's been around for over 100 years. And so I'm going to say that that's probably one of our older church traditions. I could be wrong, but I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking to that story. And in this blog post that links to this book, it basically defines Rally Day as a system provided for instant and regular follow-up to keep students coming to class.
Instant. I like that.
Instant. According to the Instagram poll results that I found, most ladies responded that their church did not observe Rally Day, as we've already said. And Rally Day's observance is not monolithic, but there seems to be a pretty solid formula for Rally Day success, usually involving crafts, games, and obviously snacks.
Obviously.
Because,
of course.
Duh, right?
Although I do like Rachel's spaghetti. That's
right.
heartier than a snack.
I would eat spaghetti.
I'd eat spaghetti.
Big time spaghetti. Now, this is the general descriptor of what people have told me how their churches celebrate Rally Day. Gift giving is also common, as we've spoken about engraved hymnals. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. But at Rally Day, it's common for goodie bags to be handed out, devotional books, hymnals, and students will meet their new Sunday school teachers and classmates for the next school year.
Did you ever have those attendance posters where you get a sticker next to your name for each date you attend? That's when you get that started.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, that just uncovered a corner of my brain that's been shut off for the last 20 years. I'm sorry.
Same.
I'm astounded right now. My brain is backfiring.
Show up, get a sticker.
Get a sticker. Now, here are some ways for you to level up your Rally Day, though, based on feedback that I received on Instagram. Also, I'm going to put spaghetti on this list of leveling up your Rally Day. Just add spaghetti. Music stations.
Oh.
Balloons.
Yes.
Bounce houses.
What?
Yes. Now you're talking.
Potlucks.
Yes. Never go wrong with the potluck.
You can never go wrong with the potluck. So I feel like Rally Day, there's a range here, right? There's, sort of the simpler, more subtle observances of it. Joyous, nevertheless. But then you have bounce houses and spaghetti. I mean, what can go wrong there?
So I wonder if people...
Please don't eat spaghetti in a bounce house.
I was wondering if I could get away with
after
that.
Eating.
I knew Rachel was going to be like, wait,
no spaghetti in the bounce house.
Spaghetti.
Oh, the cleaning fee.
The cleaning fee
Oh,
from the
gross.
bounce house and the parents. Parents both.
We're going to lose our deposit on this, aren't we?
So I wonder how many people who go like all out for Rally Day also have a church picnic earlier in the summer, or if like Rally Day is their church picnic kind of
That's
thing.
an interesting
question.
thought.
Yeah.
Well, it's fitting that you say that, though, because another observation that I made is that some churches they don't use the term Rally Day. They'll call it fall kickoff,
Yeah.
fall festival,
Yeah.
kickoff to
Right.
Sunday school is another term that I've heard. So there may be some meshing, I guess, overlapping of events.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they also might do both. Who knows?
They might do both.
They might.
And that would make sense. I mean, we travel a lot in the summer, so if there's a church picnic, we're probably going to miss it. But if you put the church picnic on Rally Day, we'll be there.
Yes. Nice. So Rally Day obviously is a joyous time and obviously has practical purposes for the church as a whole. It provides sort of a landing place for people to come if they've been out for the summer or they've been hesitant to come back to church after the pandemic. So Rally Day, get you some Rally Day. If you need help planning it, we've provided some information here. I'm also interested in hearing about how other folks, because it was an Instagram poll, I didn't really cast a wide net on this one. I'd be interested to read how people celebrate Rally Day in the comments on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. I wanted to read an excerpt from Marion Lawrence's How to Conduct a Sunday School in 1905.
Oh, please do.
Because the way that he describes Rally Day is it's like, I want my husband to love me the way that Marion Lawrence loves Rally Day. Like, it just, like, how to run a Sunday school is like the Song of Solomon to Rally Day. Like, it is just the most beautiful and touching tribute to Rally Day that I could ever imagine. I don't know how long this might take up half the episode. This might take longer than the episode.
I
What
do
were we
not care.
even at?
26.
Yes. All right.
I don't know if I'm ready for more than 26 minutes.
I'm not
so
gonna. It's not gonna be
Marianne,
26.
Not-
I'm gonna
okay.
say 5 minutes tops.
All right, I'm going to time you.
Okay.
Give it to us.
Ready? This is from How to Conduct a Sunday School by Marion Lawrence. Rally Day. This festival is rapidly growing in favor. It usually comes at the end of the summer breakup and is used as a means of rallying the forces again for the work of the fall and winter. The time of year makes it possible to have very beautiful decorations and in large variety. As it is a sort of harvest home gathering, the decorations may be appropriate to that thought. Our building was certainly never more beautifully decorated than when we used corn stalks with the full ears of corn still upon them. A shock of wheat upon the platform is very appropriate. Ears of corn tied up by the husks are so beautiful. Fruits and flowers are always in abundance and make fitting decorations. Our Rally Day occurs on the last Sunday of September, and the Sunday school hour is devoted largely to it. The music is specially selected and is of a strong, vigorous character.
Yes.
Sometimes a speaker is brought in from outside to make a short address. We always have, however, on that day, our grand review. When everything is in readiness, the orchestra begins to play a processional.
Orchestra. Wow.
Everybody in the school and all who are in the building march in order by the platform, depositing their offering envelopes as they pass.
That's not Lutheran.
No.
That would not fly in a Lutheran church.
First come the little ones of the cradle roll, carried or led by their parents. Then the beginners, followed by the primaries and the other departments of the school in order of their age, the adult department, home department, and visitors coming last. Imagine being a visitor and being like, I brought no money with me. What am I supposed to do?
You know what,
right
though?
now?
And you said it's not Lutheran, but you know what? It's not American Lutheran, because that does actually sound very African Lutheran to me.
Interesting.
Like you're all marching up. There's music.
Oh,
You're presenting.
interesting.
You're offering. There's an order to it. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
This procession is continuous until everybody in the house has passed the platform and made his offering. It is a very beautiful sight. This is the part where it gets hilarious. Various devices are used to receive the offerings upon the platform. One year, the bank, so-called, was a very large real pumpkin. Another year.
Not it on being the treasurer that year.
Sticky money.
Another year, a plaster of Paris egg, about 2 feet long, laid in a nest of straw. Could you imagine that at the convention opening service? Like, please put your national offering in this giant plaster egg, please.
In the nest of straw for aesthetic effect.
In a nest of straw.
It's literally a nest egg. Oh my goodness. Synod's Nest Egg Fund.
Again, we used a small barrel. Then again, there was upon the platform a beautiful cross decorated with flowers, and at the foot of it, a box into which the envelopes were dropped. Thus, they deposited their offerings at the foot of the cross. The money is given for the organized Sunday school work.
Did anyone else have roll out the barrel pop into their head when she mentioned the barrel for offerings?
No, but I do now.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Rally Day is always the largest day of the year in the matter of attendance. When the school is all gathered, it would be a great mistake for the pastor and superintendent to lose the opportunity of impressing upon them the importance of the work in which they are engaged, and of laying before them the plans for the fall and winter campaign. It also affords the opportunity to solicit a larger interest on the part of those parents and friends who are present, who usually take no active interest beyond sending their children.
Those
Also, that never
scoundrels.
happens in our church, so I don't know what that feels like.
Never.
Never, ever. In conclusion, sorry. Rally Day should be well advertised. A beautiful, well-printed invitation should be sent to all who are not present on the Sunday before Rally Day, to all members of the church, to parents of the children, and to as many former members of the school as can be reached. It is really a reunion and is one of the happiest days of the year.
Wow.
Marion Lawrence loves him some Rally Day.
Hey,
Sure
you were
does.
right. That was 5 minutes.
Nice.
Nice job.
Hi-oh.
Uh-huh.
Only thing that would have made that better was spaghetti.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Bring your offerings into this, put it in this big pot of spaghetti and meatballs. Disgusting.
No.
That's, you know what? And that's all I got. That's all I got. I will include
An ode to Rally Day.
an ode to Rally Day. I will
yeah.
include the Library of Congress blog post link. Post written by Peggy. I don't have a last name on it.
Peggy.
Library of Congress Peggy wrote this blog post. I'll include that in the show notes. And please let us know how your church, if they do in fact celebrate Rally Day, how they celebrate Rally Day. That's all I got.
Excellent.
And whether or not your church celebrates Rally Day, and whatever you've been doing this summer, get yourself and your kids to Sunday school, because you need it. And it's very fun, even if there aren't bounce houses full of spaghetti.
Amen, sister.
Yep.
Amen.
Spiritual formation of our young and old. Very, very cool.
It's really great.
It's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ladies, we would love to know if your church does Rally Day, or if it does not do Rally Day, or what you do when you kick off Sunday school again in the fall. Join us in our Facebook group. Share your thoughts with us in the comments on this episode, or really any other episode if you want. Join us there, the Lutheran Ladies Lounge on Facebook. You can also join us on Instagram. You can follow us at Lutheran Ladies Lounge. If you are not on social, or you would like to get Lutheran Ladies Lounge in your inbox, you can sign up for our monthly e-newsletter, which you can find out how to do. I just had a brain fart. You can find out how to do that in the show notes of this episode. The words just like stopped coming. Or you can send an email to lutheranladies@kfuo.org and we'll get you signed up for that. Or you can send us an email there if you have any other comments and you aren't on social and you just want to like talk with us. That's totally fine too. You can find all our episodes at kfuo.org/Lutheran Ladies Lounge or on the KFUO radio app or on your favorite podcasting app. You're listening to the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Erin.
I'm a very large real pumpkin.
And I'm the spaghetti to go in it.
That's a spaghetti squash.
That's a spaghetti squash.
Yes!
Yo! That's
Erin, you win.
Views and opinions expressed on the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast may not represent the official position of the management or ownership of KFUO Radio, the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. The Lutheran Ladies Lounge is produced by KFUO Radio and available at kfuo.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a review for us too. If you love the Lutheran Ladies Lounge podcast, consider financially supporting our producer, KFUO Radio, so we can keep doing what we do. Find out how at kfuo.org/give. Oh, I wanted Rachel to hear this.
Get out of here, Ken. No one likes you. And you smell. Just kidding.
I'm sorry. I stole his cell phone charger for this episode. So he was trying to ask me where he could find or if he could.
An alternative.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Please
Okay. Well, we do
rewind.
You like
I'm here
Ken's
now.
stuff.
This is more important.
I currently have his laptop, his cell phone charger, and his Yeti mic.
Hey, man, what's mine is yours. This is
One
the
flesh,
marriage bond.
one flesh.
Correct. One bond, one flesh, one mic,
Okay, please rewind.
one phone charger.
Okay.